GTA Math, what's up? We're going to rationalize the denominator. That's what we're about to do. So, in order to do that, we have to take the conjugate of the denominator. And what that means is this here on the bottom, we're going to multiply top and bottom by its conjugate pair, which means we're going to take the inside, not the inside, but we're going to take this minus function and we're going to multiply it by the positive function of all of this. So instead of multiplying it by 5 square root a minus square root b, we're going to multiply it by this. And we're going to do it to the top as well, not just the bottom. So this is taking the conjugate. This is the square root of b. That looks a lot better. And when we multiply this, you're going to have to remember some of your rules that you've learned about radicals. So we're going to FOIL all of this. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply the bottom. So we're going to multiply this here, and then we're going to multiply this here. So 5 times 5 is going to give us 25. The square root of a times the square root of a, which is going to look like this, is going to just give us a. And if you want me to explain it to you, which I don't mind, whenever you have the same base and you have the same index, when you multiply two radicals, they cancel each other out. This is really a to the 1/2 times a to the 1/2. And when you multiply things with the same bases, or when you multiply variables, as I've done in another video, in case you haven't seen it yet, you add the exponents. So now you have a to the 2 over 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2, which we got here, and the denominator stays the same. There you go. But I'm going to erase all of that just because I've done it in another video, but I'm just, trying to help out in case you haven't tuned into how wonderful this channel is. But let's get back to taking care of this problem. So this is going to be 25a, and then we're going to multiply 5 square root of a times this square root of b. And when we do that, we're going to end up with positive 5 and the square root of a times the square root of b. Since both of these have the same index, which is a root 2 and a root 2, we're going to combine these two variables into one big square root function. So it's going to look like this. So this is going to be square root a b. And we're not done. We got to keep going. So we've taken care of that first part. Now we're going to finish the second part. So we're going to multiply this negative square root of b by this function. And then we're going to do it here as well. So the square root of b times 5 to the square root of a is going to give us a negative version of what we just got here, because there's a negative sign in front. So it's going to be negative 5. square root AB. And then we're going to multiply the square root of B times the square root of B, and that's just going to give us a negative B. Now we're going to do the same thing to the top. We're going to FOIL, very similar to how we did the last time. We're going to multiply here, and then here, and then we're going to multiply this 3 times everything else. So the square root of A times the square root of A is going to give us just 5A. The square root of A times the square root of B is going to give us the square root of AB. And then 3 times 5 is going to give us 15 times the square root of A. And then 3 times the square root of B is just going to give us 3 square root B. And since we finished taking care of rationalizing the denominator, we almost took care of it. Now we're going to just combine like terms and we're going to clean stuff up. So I see like terms here, the two things that are underlined on the bottom. These cancel each other out because this is a positive version of it. Here's the negative version. And that's kind of which the conjugate's main purpose is to get rid of the terms in the middle. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but that's kind of like the whole purpose of it. You're just getting rid of everything that has a square root in the denominator. Sometimes, most of the times. Don't at me. And now we're going to just keep simplifying. So let's look at the numerator. I see a 5A plus the square root of AB plus some other stuff. I don't see any like terms, so we're going to just rewrite it just so we can get closer to our final answer. We're going to end up with 5A plus the square root of AB plus 15A plus 3 square root B all over 25A minus B. And here you have it. We have simplified and also rationalized the denominator. GTA family, man, thanks for sticking with me. I know this problem was not super easy to look at and have an idea of what you're doing, but rationalizing is really just taking the conjugate of the denominator like we did in this problem and just kind of cleaning up a bunch of mess. And that's what we did. So once again, thanks for sticking with me. Let's continue to learn, love, and grow together.